Welcome to Science Meets Adventure, exploring nature's secret. Today, our journey crosses windswept chalk downs to one of Earth's most discussed monuments. Is Stonehenge an ancient observatory tuned to the sun, a ceremonial landscape for the living and the dead, or both at once? And how did people move Bluestones hundreds of kilometers from the Welsh mountains to this quiet plain? Set your curiosity to compass north. We will follow evidence through rock, ice, water, and time, and we will walk the same open horizons that have framed the stones for thousands of years. Before the first pillar rose, this landscape lay beneath a warm, shallow sea. The ground under Stonehenge is Cretaceous chalk, a soft limestone formed from trillions of microscopic shells that drifted to the seafloor like slow snow more than 65 million years ago. When the seas withdrew, rivers cut broad terraces across Salisbury Plain, and Ice Age winds scoured the surface clean. Chalk holds the memory of that ancient ocean in its pale color, its porous texture, and the way rain disappears into it after storms, re-emerging as sparkling springs along the valleys. Among the sands and gravels that cap parts of southern Britain, groundwater rich in dissolved silica slowly cemented loose grains into sarsen, a super-hard sandstone. Later, erosion lifted these blocks from their beds and left them scattered across downs and river corridors. Sarsen is tough, dense, and musical when struck, and with patience, it can be shaped using hammerstones, picks, and abrasion. At Stonehenge, it carries the weight of the great trilithons, 2 uprights and a lintel, because it resists weather and stress. The very existence of these stones on the plain is a geological story. Their arrangement into architecture is a human one. Threaded among the gray sarsens are smaller, darker stones, the bluestones. They include dolerites, rhyolites, and volcanic tuffs, many flecked with pale spots. Their geochemical signature points to the Preseli Hills of West Wales, roughly 220 kilometers away. That fact anchors one of archaeology's most spirited debates. Did Neolithic engineers quarry specific outcrops, load stones onto sledges, grease tracks, roll timbers forward, and raft along river systems before hauling over chalk? Or did Ice Age glaciers do the heaviest lifting, carrying Welsh boulders across country and dropping them closer to Wessex for later builders to collect? Evidence exists for planned quarrying in Preseli, as well as for glacial transport along the Irish Sea corridor. The data are fragmentary, the questions remain alive. Either way, people made the decisive choices: what to take, where to set it, how to fit it, and why. Roll time forward to around 3000 BCE. People dug a broad circular bank and ditch using deer antler picks and wooden shovels. Along the inner edge, they cut a ring of post holes, the Aubrey holes, whose first purpose is still debated. Cremations soon gathered here, making Stonehenge one of Britain's earliest known cemeteries. The first monument was earthwork and memory rather than towering stone, yet the pattern of a sacred circle and a controlled approach already shaped the landscape. Community, path, and place began to braid together. By about 2500 BCE, the big work began. Sarsen uprights were dressed and shouldered with mortise and tenon joints. Lintels were locked with tongue and groove carpentry. Stone worked as if it were hardwood. An outer circle rose, and inside it, a horseshoe of taller trilithons faced the axis. A processional avenue linked the site to the River Avon, carrying feet and meaning back and forth between water and stone. Close by, at Durrington Walls, a settlement of houses and timber circles yielded animal bones, pottery, and hearths, evidence for seasonal gatherings and feasts. Wood for life, stone for remembrance. The broader landscape formed a single ceremonial theater. So, astronomy or ritual? The central axis of Stonehenge aligns with the midsummer sunrise and the midwinter sunset. On those days, the sun lifts or sinks along the monument's spine with purposeful clarity. That is deliberate architecture rather than accident. Yet Stonehenge was never a planetarium mapping every star. It was a ritual calendar, a stage on which the turning year could be felt together. In midwinter, when light returns after its longest exile, fires would have warmed faces while breath plumed in the cold. In midsummer, When dawn spills early over the plain, the stones channel brightness into a corridor of day. The sky offered a schedule. People brought the meaning. Even when the crowds disperse, the place remains busy. Freeze-thaw cycles creep through joints and probe tiny cracks. Lichens colonize the faces in slow mosaics of green and silver. The chalk underfoot drinks water in winter and exhales dust in summer. Step back from the rope, and the wider sacred landscape sharpens into view. Long barrows like sleeping boats, round barrows punctuating ridgelines. The great Cursus scoring the turf for nearly 3 kilometers. And Durrington Walls, where hearths, pots, and cut marks on bones speak of cooking fires and craft. Stonehenge is a ring, but it is also an ecosystem of memory stitched across hills. To experience a Stonehenge well, plan like a scientist and wander like an adventurer. Book a timed ticket. Numbers protect both archaeology and wildlife. Begin at the visitor center to gain texture and context by proxy. Polished sarsen and spotted dolerite samples, reconstructed tools, and a short immersive film that washes the ring with light across the seasons. A shuttle runs to the monument, but if you can, walk one direction. The path rises and falls over low chalk swells. The stones appear, vanish, and reappear at changing angles, so the monument composes and recomposes itself as you go. You begin to understand that the setting was chosen not just for ground, but for sightlines. For a longer day, stitch the public path into National Trust trails. Climb King Barrow Ridge for big skies and barrow chains. Follow the avenue to feel the ceremonial approach. Loop past the Cursus to grasp the site's scale with your legs. Stay on marked ways because chalk grassland is fragile, and archaeology lies just beneath the turf. You cannot camp at the monument, but quiet campsites and welcoming farm stays quilt the surrounding countryside. Pair Stonehenge with Woodhenge and Durrington Walls. Then finish in Salisbury, where the cathedral's needle-slender spire lifts above lawns and close-walled gardens, a medieval answer to prehistoric ambition. Eat like the landscape to finish the lesson with flavor. Wiltshire ham, chalk stream trout, farmhouse cheese, crusty bread, and a pint of local cider. Mirror the downs and clear rivers as surely as any map. Ask for seasonal specials. In summer, kitchen gardens hum with bees, and in winter, low sun throws amber across pub walls. If you aim for solstice season, check access well in advance. On ordinary days, the magic is gentler but just as real, especially in the soft light after dawn or in the long gold of late afternoon when shadows stretch like compass needles across the grass. As you walk, notice craft hiding in plain sight. Lintels are subtly curved to complete a near-perfect ring, and the joints that lock stone to stone vanish at a casual distance. Some uprights buckle softly where frost and time have worried their edges. The battered heelstone leans like a veteran guard. Trace the axis with your eyes and imagine the choreography. People arranged to witness, to speak names, to share meat and music, to turn private grief into public strength. Whatever else Stonehenge may be, it is a machine for gathering. Bodies in space, time in place. Return to the transport riddle, because journey is half the story. If humans moved the Bluestones, picture teams of pullers calling cadence, sledges skidding over greased tracks, rollers replaced one by one, and rafts nosing downriver between willow-shadowed banks. The feat was not superhuman. It was human multiplied. Skill, patience, and coordination sustained for months and years. If glaciers moved them instead, imagine ice grinding south along the Irish Sea corridor, capturing Welsh stones and letting them down in new country, a scattered cache later gathered by builders. In both scenarios, the final act is the same: deliberate selection, careful placement, and a vision that reaches beyond any single village. Practical courtesies keep the experience honest. Do not touch or climb the stones. Oils and pressure harm delicate surfaces. Drones are generally not permitted near the monument. Save flights for the wider countryside where rules allow. Pack layers because the wind is candid on the downs. Wear shoes that forgive chalk dust. Bring water, a hat, and time. The most important tool is patience. Between tour groups, stillness opens like a clearing, skylarks stitch sound into the sky, and the ring seems to breathe. If you want a closer encounter, consider stone circle access sessions, small groups admitted at the edges of day, booked well ahead. If tickets are gone, a quiet hour on the public path can be just as stirring. So what is the verdict? Stonehenge is both an astronomical instrument and a ceremonial theater. The sky's rhythm offered a schedule, the hinge of the year, while ritual gave meaning to that hinge. One does not cancel the other. They interlock like mortise and tenon. And the Bluestones, whether carried by will or favored by ice, embody a decision to mix lands, to import mountains into meadow, to carry distant thunder and set it singing on chalk. The remaining questions, how every stone moved, why each placement was chosen, are not failures of knowledge. They are invitations to look harder, walk farther, and listen more closely to what rock and wind and light are still saying. Thank you for traveling with Science Meets Adventure, exploring nature's secret. If this journey sharpened your curiosity or helped you plan a wiser visit, join our community and keep exploring where geology, ecology, and culture meet bootprints on a trail. Like, share, and subscribe to explore more of nature's mysteries with us. And until next time, travel curious and tread lightly.